Hey everyone, Haz here. Welcome back to another war video. This one's war number 7 and 8. First up here we've got Mr. Negative and Starkey on part 6. We're taking these with Chee'ilth, mainly because she's a tactic attacker, and she's also got really high damage as well. So Mr. Negative fight, the hardest part of this fight is if he gains prowess, by you doing the same basic in a row, then he can dash back and remove the prowess and gain power. So ideally you don't want to do the same basic in a row, then you can just completely avoid his power gain, because that's what really makes this fight difficult and it can really mess you up. You can see here we've only done like 8 hits and he's already 60% health. We get evaded there, just didn't get the tactic up in time. I think I'm going to start going for like light mediums or medium lights before heavy, before the tactic gets up instead of heavies, just to get the tactic up faster. You'll see in the next clip as well, in the next war, I do the same mistake, but it's just kind of gets the damage rolling a bit, but I definitely want to go for safety, so I'm going to start doing some combos first if I can, rather than just heavies only. Moving on, here we got the Starkey. This fight is not really an issue. The only problem with this is aggression prowess, really. So as long as you don't get hit by a special, it's a pretty much just a normal Starkey fight. We're going to knock him down with heavies, just so that we can remove his Stark AI, that way he won't evade our specials. But with the tactic, it doesn't really matter either way, it's more just like an extra safety thing. He does evade there, which is fine. We're just going to make sure we keep the prowess down just to be extra safe, and we're going to keep removing the Stark AI as well. So Starkey is a tactic defender, but that doesn't really matter with Chee'ilth once we get clarity up. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this season so far, just because clarity is such a good way to ignore the tactic. I mean, we've had tactics in the past where even if you had the benefit from your attack tactic, it wouldn't completely shut off the defense tactic. So if you guys remember like the Daunted and Root, the taunt didn't really completely shut off the tactic, you still have to deal with some of the issues. But with this tactic and some other previous tactics, the attack tactic works really well at kind of mitigating the defense tactic, and that's what we have here, which is really nice. So moving on here to section 2, those 2 fights were pretty fine. We're going on to part 2 and we're taking this with Wong, and also we got Jessica Jones. You'll notice I don't have the Odin pre-fight here for Chee'ilth, so we're going to do that without Odins, which I'll explain when we get there. But for now we got this Wong up first. I took Silver Surfer on the team to make sure Hulk was buff immune for this. That way we don't have to worry about Mystic Dispersion at all. We can just kind of combo him down and focus on the really important parts of the fight, like managing his spells and kind of just watching out for them, and also managing his power as well, making sure he's throwing special ones and any unstoppables that he might get from using heavy or whatever. So here, literally the plan was just to throw special 2s and just get him that way. So we're going to go in here, wait till we get 15 of our Furies, and we're going to drop a big special 2. And special 2 does some really nice damage here. Does, I think, about 80k that was, so really nice. Then we're just going to go in for a few combos into special 1s, and he's pretty much dead. Go for a heavy here, just to remove his Eldritch Energy, but aside from that, yeah, that was a pretty quick fight. I do like using Hulk. It's nice that he has that synergy with Chee'ilth, but also as a champion he's pretty good as well. That's really nice. But going in here, this is tactic Jessica Jones on EMP mod. The reason this is a little bit tough is if you don't have Odins, Chee'ilth can take a lot of shock damage if you're not careful, so you just kind of gotta not bait that many specials. My plan going into this fight was to put on invuln and bait special 3s. That way we can limit the amount of shocks that we take. I also put on the energy resist stat focus, that way we could avoid more of the shock damage. But here you can see, even after just a few combos and a special 1, she's already half dead. So I didn't even need to worry. Even if she threw a special, you see we only have like 5 or 6 EMP mods, so it wouldn't have killed us, but we ended up killing her before she can throw a special. So that was a really fun fight. I finished on way higher health than I anticipated, so that's nice. But that was War 7. Moving on to War 8, we're on part 8 here in section 1. We've got this Chee'ilth vs Hulk. I've explained a few times before in previous videos that Chee'ilth just shreds Gamma Champs because of the extra bleed potency you get, and this fight is no different. We're just going to be throwing special ones and heavy attacks really. So yeah, Hulk's main kind of defensive threat is just his unstoppable, but that doesn't really matter for Chee'ilth because she has the grit, and that's still a really important piece of utility for Chee'ilth and something that I really enjoy, and not that many champions have. You know, not that many champions have grit. You know, I can really only think of Chee'ilth, Dust, and I guess Valkyrie if you want to count her, even though that's technically not a grit. It's just her own sort of ability, but still really nice to have. And then going on here, we got this Wong. I think I do take this to Chee'ilth as well. I was assigned Hulk, but I just thought Chee'ilth would be a little bit safer and just melt him a little bit quicker, I think. And I'm glad I did use her. So you can see here, I think the main reason I wanted to use Chee'ilth is because you gain Furies, or Wong gains Furies throughout the fight, and when Chee'ilth's blocking, she basically avoids Furies, which is really nice. So you can see here, we're literally just going to heavy counter that special one, and yeah, it's pretty much no worries here. Going into our special one, now we can ignore any unstoppable he would get, which is nice, and just continue heavy countering that special one and dealing some big bleed damage is essentially our goal here. Yeah, you can see he's melting now, which is really nice. He's almost dead, which is great. So that fight took less than a minute, which is really great. Yeah, Chee'ilth is really good for these path fights, and she's great for minis as well. She can handle herself really well on a bunch of these tricky fights. Moving on here into section 2, we've got a couple of interesting fights here. We're going to be taking this Longshot with Onslaught, and then we're going to be taking a classic Jess Jones with Chee'ilth. So this Onslaught fight, initially I was chatting to my officer trying to find different champs that might work. I was kind of wanting to use Chee'ilth, but I was a bit unsure because of Longshot's increased ability accuracy. I don't know if Chee'ilth would be able to handle all those debuffs. So I ended up going for Onslaught, and to be honest with you, I kind of messed up this fight. Like, normally I'm fine playing Onslaught, but between all the power gain and stuff, I just got really nervous. You know, I'd never used Onslaught on War, but I'm still comfortable with them. I use them all the time in questing and BGs. It's really just all the power gain. You can see, like, even just doing a couple of combos, because of Dexterity and MD, he ends up getting a lot of power, and that means that it's kind of hard for me to refresh my debuffs. And I don't want to push him past 2 bars, because then if something happens and I need a Dex and Dex ends up expiring, then he gets a bunch of MD and he could go special 3. So, you know, I was a bit cautious in this fight about pushing him past 2 bars because of that, and that made the fight a lot slower than it needed to be, really. I can't remember if I put an invuln for this. I might have done, but even if I did, you know, he still has the stun after special 3. So overall, I just wanted to keep this fight extremely safe. You can see here, you know, continuing to bait out special 1s or special 2s. He gets a lot of power from Bad Karma and Mystic Explosion though, so it's really just an annoying fight, to be honest. I mean, I'd take it again, but this definitely was my least favorite fight of the war. Here I get a good conversion with degen, and I managed to get the pause up here. Now I just kind of want to bait out the special 2 ideally if I can. And I think we get it out here. Yep. Which is great. You know, Onslaught obviously has Shock, Bleed, and Incinerate resistance, so there's very little that can go wrong in this fight. It's more just if he goes to special 3, that's the only real worry. But he is getting down and we're at full health, so it wasn't like I was, you know, worried about dying as long as I stuck to the plan. It was more just a bit annoying because I knew I could really easily finish him off with a special 2, but I didn't want to take the risk. So yeah, still not a horrible fight. I just didn't feel very good in the fight, I guess. Bit of a janky playstyle and all. But we got this Chee'ilth up here versus Jess fight. This is going to be just fine. We've taken this a couple of times before this season. As usual, we're going to use mediums and lights to build clarity first. We don't really want to be using heavies that much because we can get punished for them. I start off with a heavy just because I kind of want to build a little bit, but then you can see I get cleansed, and now I'm just going to stick to mediums and lights here just to help us kind of build a little bit of clarity up. Go for a couple more heavies while she's below a bar, which is good to build some more bleeds. Off with a special 2, and she's pretty much half dead at this point. yeah, I mean, I've said before, I don't want to use a heavy when she's over a bar just because she can punish you, but it's fine to do it when you're below a bar of power. Just want to be a little bit safe, that's all. And she's almost dead here, so we're just going to go in with another special 2 here to finish off the fight. I get a few bleeds on me, I'm just being a bit too aggressive, but it's, you know, still fine. Nothing that Chee'ilth can't handle. That went fine overall. And I think that's all for today. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.